If you've ever found yourself suddenly blocked by an ex on social media or any other platform, you're probably left wondering what went wrong. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that can leave you feeling totally confused and maybe even a little hurt, being blocked by your ex. Why did they hit that block button? What's really going on in their mind? If you've ever been unexpectedly blocked by an ex on social media or another platform, you're likely left feeling confused about what went wrong and questioning what could have caused it. Let's take a deep dive into this mystery, exploring why your ex might have blocked you and what it really means for you. So, grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's figure this out together. Let's start with the basics. Getting blocked by an ex is something that happens to a lot of people, and let's be honest, it's not the easiest thing to deal with. It's an immediate sign that someone has shut you out, and it can trigger a whirlwind of emotions, from confusion to anger to sadness. But, as frustrating as it may feel in the moment, it's crucial to understand that this isn't always about you. When your ex hits the block button, it's easy to assume that you did something wrong or that they're angry with you. But in reality, being blocked may have little to do with anything you said or did. It's often more about what your ex is feeling and what they need in that moment, which can be a range of things. Let's break it down. Understanding the emotional impact. It's normal to feel a sense of rejection when someone blocks you. It feels like a clear signal that you're no longer wanted, and that can be tough to process. But here's the truth. Being blocked does not reflect your worth as a person. It's not a judgment of who you are, but rather an action taken by someone who is trying to navigate their own emotions. It's a decision based on their own need for space or healing. You might start to wonder, did I do something wrong? Could I have said something differently? The answer is, maybe, maybe not. Relationships are complicated, and not everything is under our control. Sometimes people react out of their own emotional needs, and you can't always predict or control that. Reason number 1. They need space to heal. One of the most common reasons someone might block their ex is that they simply need space. After a breakup, emotions are all over the place. Even if the breakup was mutual, the reality of it can be overwhelming. Your ex might block you because they're trying to distance themselves from the emotional intensity that comes with seeing your posts or receiving your messages. They need time to process their feelings and heal. This doesn't mean they don't care about you or that they want to erase the memories of the relationship. It just means that, for now, they need a break to focus on their emotional well-being. Think of it like this. When you're emotionally overwhelmed, sometimes the best thing to do is create some distance from the source of that overwhelm. Blocking you might be their way of hitting the reset button and finding some peace and clarity. Reason number 2. They're trying to move on. Another reason your ex might block you is that they're trying to move on from the relationship. It's common for people to block an ex when they're ready to let go and start fresh. It doesn't mean they didn't care about you, but it signals that they want to close that chapter and begin the next one. After a breakup, there's always this awkward in-between phase. Maybe you both still have lingering feelings or are unsure about what to do next. For some, blocking is a clear, decisive way of cutting ties and making it easier to move forward. This is often their way of saying, I need to let go so I can move on emotionally and mentally. Yes, it can feel harsh and sudden, but the reality is that they might be doing what's best for them in order to heal and open themselves up to new experiences, without the emotional baggage of the past relationship holding them back. Reason number 3. They're avoiding emotional triggers. If the breakup was messy or full of emotional ups and downs, your ex might have blocked you to protect themselves from emotional triggers. Whether it was arguments, hurtful things that were said, or just painful memories, seeing your posts or getting notifications from you could stir up those emotions again. It's their way of shielding themselves from the emotional chaos. Sometimes, blocking is less about rejecting the person and more about protecting their emotional space. If they're still healing from the pain of the breakup, the last thing they need is to keep reliving it every time they see a notification from you. Blocking gives them the power to control their emotional environment and avoid unnecessary triggers. Reason number 4. They're practicing self-care now. Here's something you might not expect. Blocking can sometimes be an act of self-care. It can be a sign of emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Your ex might recognize that being in contact with you is preventing them from fully healing, and they're doing what's necessary to protect themselves. They might have realized that cutting ties is the healthiest option for both of you. This kind of self-awareness can be empowering, not just for them, but also for you to understand. Rather than seeing blocking as a rejection, try to reframe it as a positive decision for both parties. It's an acknowledgement that sometimes, in order to move forward, you need to step away from each other. So, what does this mean for you? Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, I get why they blocked me, but what does that mean for me? Well, here's the important takeaway. Getting blocked isn't the end of your story. It's not a verdict on your worth or your future happiness. Yes, it's tough and it stings, but this is an opportunity to focus on yourself and your own growth. Use this time to reflect on the relationship, learn from it, and focus on what makes you happy. It's a time to invest in yourself, to heal, and to prepare for the next chapter in your life. Blocking doesn't erase the good memories you shared, and it doesn't mean you won't find happiness again. Instead, it's a chance to grow emotionally and move forward stronger than before. In conclusion, to wrap it all up, being blocked by an ex isn't about rejection or anger. Often, it's about emotional protection, self-care, and the need to move on. Relationships are complex, and sometimes, things just don't work out the way we want them to. The most important thing to remember is that it's not the end for you, it's just the end of that particular chapter. Don't take it personally. Instead, see it as an opportunity to focus on your own well-being and personal growth. You've got the power to come out of this experience stronger, wiser, and ready to tackle whatever comes next. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you ever been blocked by an ex, and how did you handle it? Drop a comment below. I really want to hear your stories. And don't forget to check out my other videos on relationships and personal growth. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. See you next time.